Hello all, welcome to our channel. So in this video we will talk about the functioning of GPIO pins on ESP8266. So there are around 17 pins on ESP8266, but all of them are not pulled out by the module. So why we are calling modules is, in the market we don't generally use, at least the hobbies generally don't use ESP8266 chipset directly, right? We use modules like the one you see here, the green one, which has ESP8266 along with the flash, and then it is built as a module which we are calling as ESP8266 modules. So one of the important point here is that when these modules are developed by the different companies, they don't pull out all the GPIOs. So when you see this, we are using a module which is developed by the research design labs. So in this module, if you see, the green one is the module and the red one is the add-on board to program. So in this module you have pins with S1 extended to S1 and S2, which are all the Berg pins which are extended onto the red board. So when you can program this using the red board and pull out this board and plug into the module wherever you are required. So now let us see how many pins of ESP8266 are pulled out onto this module, and then this how many of these can be used as output pins. So if you see this is the back side of this this red board, the bottom board which we are talking, to which there are pins. So AD0, AD1, these are named differently. So for a beginner it is very difficult to understand what are these pins and how they relate to the GPIO. So we made your situation easy by probing each and every pin and checking whether these particular pins can be used as output pins or not. So on the right you see the ESP12E module, which is the module you see on the top here of this green board. So this is the actual pinout. So you can see here, not all the GPIOs are pulled out. Actually 17 GPIOs are supported by ESP8266. Even though all the 17 cannot be used in real application, at least some of them can be used. Even those pins have been filtered out and only few pins are pulled out. So we did a small testing by changing the GPIO to different values and see how each and every pin is functioning, and we came out with a total count of how many pins of this module, when we say this particular module can be used as outputs. So if you see here, the first one is D out pin on this board. So we ignored the ground and VCC pins. So D out corresponds to the pin on this red board. So this particular pin is a TXD. So this is a boot port, so which is a TXD pin. That means when ESP8266 boots, the output of that particular boot will be transmitted over this UART, and once it is transmitted you can use it as GPIO if required. So in your application, if you are not using the TXT and RXT, you can configure it as GPIO, and we connected an LED as shown here, and it worked. So when we say pin working as output pin, whether you can configure it as output or not. And then the next one is D in, which is a RXT pin, and GPIO 13. So this is the pin number on ESP8266. So as we are using modules, we are now not concerned with this pin, but just for reference, and if you want to go back and search on ESP8266 to see how that actual GPIO works, you can go back and check here. So this particular pin cannot be used as output. And then there is pin DO8, which is GPIO16, which is used as a wake up pin. So this cannot be used as output. So even though it says GPIO16, we have seen that it is not working as output as per our test. And RST is a special function which is a reset, so definitely you cannot use it as output. And on this particular red board, PWM0 is not pulled out, and PWM1 is pulled out, which is connected to GPIO14, and again this is working as output pin. And RES and DTR pins are not even though there are pins on this red board, they are not connected to ESP8266. So this one side of the board, where starting from the ground and till VCC, or if you start from VCC to ground, so these pins could only 2 pins among this side can be used as outputs. Now coming to the other side of this red board, so here you can see we have pins starting from AD0 and then ends at AD4. So we tested these pins as well. AD0 is a analog pin. So this is to be configured as input only. So this is the only analog pin on ESP8266. So this is pulled out to this red board. So this can be used as this cannot be used as a output pin. It is only input pin and only analog functionality. And AD1, which corresponds to GPIO4, yes, this can be used as a output. Similarly, AD2, which corresponds to GPIO0, can be used as output, and AD3, which corresponds to GPIO2. And then when you see this board, there is an LED here beside the antenna, trace antenna, which is a blue antenna. So this particular GPIO is connected to this blue LED, and we tested this, and this particular pin can be configured as output. RTS pin is not pulled out. And then when we say RTS pin, we mentioned, right, all these pins corresponds to this red board. And then AD5, which corresponds to GPIO15, yes, this can be used as output. And VREF, which corresponds to GPIO13 here, cannot be used. We tested and it did not function. CTS on sleep anyway are not connected to ESP8266. And AD4 is GPIO12, which worked as output. So in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you take this particular board, this particular module, only 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 pins can be used as output. So even though the module claims 17 GPIO pins, so be sure that you can use only 7 pins. And then again, among those 7 pins, if you are using a IUART, this is gone, and only 6 pins can be used to control. So why we use output is to just control something, right? So if you are using this particular module, ESP-12E module, and you want to use it for your application, just be sure that you can use only this much pins. And right now we have used the extension board. There could be few other pins if you use only ESP12E. So we are talking about the module from researchdesignlabs.com, and there is a simple code snippet where we just set up the mode, and then we are toggling the pin high and low. So there is the pin GPIO pin number that is selected, and we are using Arduino IDE to configure the board for a specific GPIO functionality. So this is how we just tested and seen how this is functioning. So this eliminates some of your headache. You can use some of these inputs and go straight away with your hobby project or with your live project. You can try to configure your ESP12E modules. So thanks for watching. Please let us know if you have any questions. Please let us know if you want us to test anything and provide outputs. Please post your comments. If you have any observations other than this, please like our video, subscribe to our channel. Thank you.